Welcome back to the channel. So, we've got some stuff to address. So, listen, everybody's been talking about this all over the internet, and I was made privy, not that it was a private situation or I'm anything special, but there was a video that was done by a larger YouTuber. Her name is Rivah TV, and I just found out about her. Shout out to her. Okay, she has a large channel. I don't know the basis of her content, but based on the situation with Dr. Umar's daughter, it seems like, excuse me, got to choke after hearing what I heard today. And again, not her video, but just hearing what was actually reported by her today. So, for lack of better words, I guess there was some defending of Umar's position and some dragging of his daughter. Okay. And I'm really, really curious and interested in how she justifies dragging his daughter into this, right? And I do want to use this moment as a teaching tool, right? Because a lot of people have an issue with when they are reviewing the content of another creator, they have issues with separating, reviewing, and being critical of the talking points without just being a disrespectful weirdo, right? That's what I've had to deal with. Weirdos who are just probably just struggling in real life. So they feel like, reviewing something of mine or someone else that they don't like in a very distasteful, disrespectful way will like help them or whatever. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but here's my intention. My intention is to bring some clarity, right? To understand exactly what this perspective is, and from what I'm understanding, I'm not going to agree with it. So I already have a bias. I'm fine with that. Biases are okay with me as long as they're on the right side of the game. But you can do this without being weird, right? And some people like to, because I'm just dealing with what I've had in the past, right? People, we've been talking about Umar on this new channel for what, 2 days now, right? And so people typically take issue with that. And especially if people are listening to you or paying attention and they're like, you're talking about this person because you're clout chasing, or you're reviewing this content, but because you're clout chasing, honey. My name isn't enough. I don't have to chase clout, right? But here's the thing: if I am, baby, so what? Okay, I am a YouTuber. I'm good at YouTube, and people like to hear what I have to say, and I give thought-provoking, good content, which is why that thumbs up button should be pressed and why you should be subscribing. So I'm going to teach the quote unquote struggle streamers how to do this. Okay. I hope everybody's doing well. I feel like I'm going to be playing Mammy Mountain a lot from what people tells me. From what people tell me, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be playing Mammy Mountain. Shout out to the Vibers. Welcome back. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into it. Exactly. We can never get around this one. I thought I changed the colors of these already. So yeah, we cannot get around the fact that he is using struggle stream, and we're trying to figure out like what's up with that, Dr. Umar. Like, why though? You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing that? Okay, so we have the right colors on here, and I think, where should we put them? We'll put them right here. I think we can read them right here. And I think you guys like when they fly around. So let's go ahead and set that up really quick. For the transition, we'll have them, I don't know, spin from the top. Spin in from the top. That's what we'll do. All right. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up so that the algorithm understands that we are here and that we want to talk our shit. Amen. So let's go ahead. This YouTuber is called Rivah TV, and I'm not that familiar with her content, but what I gather, just from what I heard, she's very male centered, and I don't know that. I'm going to find out now. But I also was told that she's one of the channels that, cater to the musings of men, and, their identities or whatever. And from what I understand, even in what we would call mammying, the men were not going. Like, she may have overplayed her mammy card. I don't know. So we'll see that. And if you want to know what a mammy is, and you're not familiar with the term, I will be breaking it down again through my Mammy DSM over on TashaKLive.com. You can download that app from the Google Play Store or from your Apple Play Store. You can I'm sorry, the iTunes. Apple doesn't have a Play Store. But anyway, you can download the app. I'll be over there breaking down the Mammy DSM. So, in short, a mammy is basically a term that we use for a woman, or it could be a man, actually, who foregoes their best interest to support or gain approval or gain some sort of social hierarchy, by either throwing someone vulnerable under the bus or appealing to men for whatever reason. Shout out to the one dislike. I'm sure we know who that is. It just came down. I hate that they don't show the dislikes on YouTube anymore. I don't like. I really like to see, because I mean, I love that I typically leave a stream with like 2 or 3 dislikes out of several hundred. So it just kind of like boosts my self esteem. Whoever did that, I know you're watching, and you know that I'm fabulous, and you're mad about it, and I understand. So, and when you get through talking, you're still going to be obsessed. In Women's History Month, the ending of Black History Month, with being anti-black towards me because you're uncomfortable with yourself. Anyway, shout out to the struggle streamers in the clouds. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let me put this on the screen because that's what we're here for. All right. So let's move this around a bit. Okay, I think that's at a good place. Let me know if you guys can hear everything okay. And we're going to get started. But I think I heard a Cash App. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Miss J. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sending the Cash App. I love you, girl, a lot. Love you. Thank you so much. Let's go.
Never be too busy for your daughter.
Oh, wait. Okay, here we go.
My biological father is Dr. Umar. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts. Okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It's to the public, you look like this person, but in private, you a whole nother person.
Love for children is too strong for anybody to be coming out the woodworks telling you they've been trying to reach me when my number has been public for 20 years. Trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back.
That don't even make no sense, y'all. You can't raise a man. He's already grown. What you gonna do? You wonder why he acts like a boy.
I didn't see this one.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So if you guys do not know what is going on with the Dr. Umar situation, basically, okay, this young woman decided to go on TikTok and tell her business like most young women do, okay? In particular, she decided to talk about Dr. Umar being her biological father.
Let me stop here just in case anybody's confused. This is a review. So we're not just going to do a listen and I'm just going to sit here and just listen. I'm going to talk, and I'm going to talk a lot, okay? Because this is an analysis, breakdown, review, all of this. But do understand that this is not an attack on the person. This is an attack of the talking points. And I have to do it this way because so many people have an issue with this, where you can't review a content creator or even disagree with them without getting some sort of weird fixation and, turning it into, like, I'm not here for that, right? And I understand that people that are not as creative and talented, obviously she is got some level of creativity and talent because she's, made it, right? But I really am curious to see this, right? But I want to say this first and foremost. Did y'all hear what she said in the first few minutes? Let me just run this part back because already we have a problem.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So if you guys do not know what is going on with the Dr. Umar situation, basically, okay, this young woman decided to go on TikTok and tell her business like most.
This young woman decided to come on to TikTok and tell her business after clarifying in the beginning that Dr. Umar was her father. So I find it really interesting that she's choosing to separate the two, right? Once we've established that this is his daughter, that needs to be reiterated each time, because there's a difference between some woman that he may have screwed or some woman that, you know, he met at McDonald's or whatever while he was sitting up there eating all the chicken wings or whatever he does. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between the daughter, right? And so she says already she decides to come onto TikTok and tell her business like all these young women do, right? That's virtue signaling, in my opinion, right? So a lot of women need to make it clear that they are going to support men, right? And is there anything wrong with supporting men? Absolutely. I'm going to support righteous men every time, right? Every time, because they often get thrown in the same box with men like Dr. Umar simply because they're black or whatever. They get thrown in that same box with him. So I absolutely will support. There's nothing wrong with supporting men. I'm not one of those women or one of those channels that have some sort of issue, right, with men. And so sorry that so many people do. But let's go ahead and get into it, because again, she's already going in with the, this young woman is telling her business and all this kind of stuff. It's not as simple as telling the business, right? It's literally not that simple. And I do think that as a public figure, if you are going out here moving like Dr. Umar is moving, and when I say how he's moving, because I did see some comments in the first video that we did about him where he's literally, these people are literally, well, do you know how hard it is to build a school? And y'all are being too hard on Umar. No, I've never built a school. If that commenter comes in here and has a question, I've never built a school, but we've seen it done. We've seen it done. There have been tons of schools built with less capital, okay, in less time. So yeah, we're not unfamiliar with the process as far as seeing it happen. But this dude has been, and I'm not saying alleged, because at some point somebody's got to be honest with these struggle brains, right? 15 years now, about 15 years, he's been collecting money for a school because he cares about children, right? And so if you have his child, his daughter, talking about, yo, you never went to my graduation, you never did this, I don't see a problem with that. Okay, politicians get exposed. People will do fake exposures on people all the time, right? Celebrities get exposed or whatever. When you're a public figure, no matter how big or small, look, it is what it is. Okay.
Young women do. Okay. In particular, she decided to talk about Dr. Umar being her biological father. She called him a deadbeat. She started to say a lot of things about him, in which Dr. Umar actually ended up responding to it. Okay, so I have both of the conversations. I'm going to press pause and play and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions on this entire situation.
So I just wanted to come on here with a small, short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts. Okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite.
You know, I just find it so interesting when people start these conversations off by, you know, I'm not saying this to, you know, for clout, or I'm not coming here for clout. And then they say things like, you know, I'm not saying these things to bash him. And then immediately after that goes directly into, you know, bashing him and then also trying to tarnish his character on top of that.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. So she says, you know, basically she's alluding to the girl, I'm sorry, the young lady, because she is an adult. She's alluding to her being disingenuous, right? Saying that, you know, she's not, you know, she's saying that she's not clout chasing, but and that she's not bashing, but then she immediately attacks his character. Let's talk about that whole little thing, because that was a word salad, right? If she's talking about her own experience with her father, that's not a clout chase. And I know I cannot be the first person to say that, but how the hell are you clout chasing your own life, right? And here's the thing. When you have quote unquote clout, right? And you have a child, it's just unfortunate that he's on the wrong side of the equation with this. If my kids want to do social media, they have every right to get whatever clout they can from me because they're mine and I'm theirs. So technically, by her being his daughter, and if he has clout, she should be entitled to his clout. I mean, it's no more clout chasing for her to do her video, and I'm talking about Rivah, and me to do my video. We would more so fall into the categories of clout chasing more so than his own daughter, because there is an entitlement to the benefits of her being his daughter. And if she can't benefit from being his daughter like she probably should have, which is why she's on the internet in the first place, then that's indicative of him being full of shit and defective in his fatherhood. Okay? Amen? All right. So, yeah, I don't get that. And then she goes further to say, she said she wasn't going to bash him, but then she proceeds to bash. Okay. Let me explain what bashing is. Bashing has an intention, right? Bashing has a context, and bashing does not necessarily have to be rooted in truth. Bashing does not have to be rooted in integrity. It is just mean-spirited. Matter of fact, let's ask Webster or Siri. Hey Siri, can you tell me what bashing means? Siri, did you take the day off? Tell me what bashing means. Look, heifer. Siri, what does bashing mean? Child, Siri, she on vacation. What is it? Is it your bedtime? I do have the one with the English accent, and they're on the other side across the pond, so maybe she didn't get it off. So I will go ahead and Google it, because Siri not fucking with me today. Okay? What is bashing? Okay. Okay. According to Oxford, bashing is a violent physical assault. Okay? Or severe criticism, right? Or it could be, strong criticism of a particular person, or physical attack, right? What is bashing a person? Bashing a person is a harsh, gratuitous, prejudicial attack on a person, group, or subject, right? Literally bashing, of course, means hitting or whatever, but we're talking about a prejudiced, harsh attack on someone. That's what bashing means, okay? If you've ever been bashed, then you know the difference between bashing, criticizing, and telling the fucking truth, Okay? Her telling her truth as she understands her own experience is not bashing. What Rivah TV is doing in this moment is basically victim shaming and victim blaming. Okay? Because what she's trying to do, even though Umar opens his big fat mouth and talks over everyone, Umar will talk about whoever. We see Umar with examples of bashing all the time. With the stream that she conveniently cut off all of the bashing that Umar was doing. Remember, he was talking about people with dry lips. He was talking about people's hair, calling people Negro peons. He was calling his daughter a struggle streamer and a clout. That's the bashing. I'm bashing, right? That's the bashing. But Rivah TV does not believe that Umar's daughter deserves space to speak her piece. Okay? She wants to take on, it appears to me at this stage, a more patriarchal type of situation with this man's daughter. Okay? Because understand that, I don't even want to get into that, but in order for anybody to have any level of suppression, there has to be someone to kind of support that. There's got to be a backup. And so she's backing up the suppression of Umar's daughter. Because, see, he's already suppressed her, right? When he didn't do what she asked him to do as far as letting her see her sister. Now she's supporting the suppression of the daughter. And based on what other people have said, she's doing this for the approval of men. Let's see what this person said. The Big Cheese says, so many modern day black women have children by men who are not accused biological fathers that Dr. Umar Johnson needs to take a paternity test. Okay, so for the most part, so that you understand, the data suggests that most of the time in the 90th percentile, when a child is put on a man, in the 90th percentile, I don't have the exact stats in front of me, he's usually the daddy, right? And there was a paternity test that was done according to the young lady, and she's his daughter, right? I know that there's a certain demographic of men around here that don't like to claim their children or pay child support, right? And don't have the ability to claim themselves as heads of household and all of that shit. So we know that is a thing, right? That there is a group of men that are the least likely to pay child support. There's a group of men who are the ones who pay the least when they are ordered to pay it, if they pay it all. And we're not going to bring that up because even though it's fact, it may appear to be bashing to one with the struggle brain. Amen. Okay. So Dr. Umar has legitimized the fact that this is his daughter. So I think that you should respect that black man and understand that this is his daughter, and don't disrespect the man, because I know you don't have a problem with disrespecting her, but don't disrespect that black man. He's already claimed his daughter, who, in my opinion, looks a lot like him. Okay, let us continue. Okay.
Like, in my opinion, when a lot of these people do this stuff, this is so similar to exactly what 50 Cent's son did. He wanted to get his, father's attention by going on the internet and saying disgraceful things about him. Like, that is going to give you any kind of positive reaction.
Right. So, again, I think most of us are familiar with the situation with 50's son, right? I don't know the whole story. But from what I gathered, there was some interference with the mom. There were some situations. 50 is a very petty and immature individual, and he played internet games with his son online. In fact, if I could be mistaken, somebody correct me. So I don't know who came out of the internet bag first, if it was his son or him. But he played the internet games with him. And typically, most of us, we don't know this life, right? We don't know the life of our children popping out on us saying that we didn't support them or they need support and all this shit. We don't know that life. Why? Because we're present and active in our children's lives. So if this indeed is the problem, right? Did I make a mistake? I hope I didn't. Rewind it. If this indeed is the problem with these children popping out and telling the business to social media, I think Master P's son did it. Monique's daughter did it. I know that we can think of a few other people that have done it, right? But typically when they do this, there's some negligence on the parent side. Now, I'm not one of those people that agree with taking your shit to the internet, but that's where we are. I'm old. So look, old people do shit differently, but I'm not here to decide whether or not we can unring that bell. That's what goes on now. That's what people do. They go to the internet for everything. They go to the internet to cry. They go to the internet to do whatever they're doing. They go to the internet to find something to do. And that's just where we're at with it. It's not, it is what it is. It's out there now. And people like myself and Rivah TV, we don't mind this happening because it gives us content. Amen. So the outrage of her doing this, it's really false outrage. Understand, we live for this shit. Okay? We live for it. Okay? I'm just going to tell the damn truth. Okay? Let's continue.
And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter.
Another thing, right? I'm not going to stop it too much. I'm going to let her speak, but I want to make sure I pinpoint this. You see, this rhetoric that, I shouldn't have to reach out to you. I'm the child. You're the parent. This is one of the key things that happens, especially with younger women, that leads them to the road of singledom, makes them have.
One second, y'all. 1 second.
I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain where I can save him. I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain so he can cheat on me. I don't mind if he calls me trash. He can even beat me. I'm climbing Mammy Mountain, Mammy Mountain. I'm a big mammy. He can cheat on me. He can beat me. I'm sad.
Okay. Rivah said that this leads to singledom. Let's put this in perspective. Let's put it in perspective, folks. When a father refuses to participate in the life of the child, right? Even though the child, thank God, shout out to the good stepdads out there, was raised in a 2-parent household, even though she gave a prior example of a male child doing the same thing, just like Monique's son did, right? She just said this leads to singledom. This is dog whistling for men. This is dog. That's all this is. And let me explain what this dog whistle is about. We hear these dusty podcasts all the time, right? We hear these podcasters, which are going to be the ruin of the relationships between Gen Zers, right? Because typically podcasters and stuff are a bunch of single people that have never been married, never seen success in relationships, and are struggle brains, right? Let's put this together though. Her not being able to contact her father or refuse or saying that he should reach out to her is something that's going to lead to singledom, right? What do the men like to talk about? Women being single. Talk to any Gen Zer. They don't give a damn about being single. That is not a death sentence to them. But for mammies, the mammy mindset is having a man brings you value. Okay. And while that may be true to a certain degree, depending upon the man or whatever, you are not valueless without a man. But mammies will teach you that you are. Okay. Okay. The Big Cheese. Oh. The Big Cheese says, I was adopted by two wonderful black parents because my black mother was unfit and an irresponsible human beings. Okay. Well, Muffin, I'm glad that you were adopted. But, I don't know your gender. I just know the literacy rate. And I'm reading what you said, Muffin. You were adopted by two wonderful black parents. Salute to them. More black people need to be adopting children. Okay. I think that kids need to get out of the system. Okay. But you said it was because my black mother was unfit and irresponsible human beings. How many people was she, actually? Because you're saying beings, right? And so did she lose you to the system, or did she just put you up for adoption? Just asking for clarity, Muffin. I just want to know for clarity. But either way it goes, let's focus on the fact that somebody actually adopted you. Okay? That you weren't an orphan. Okay? I'm hoping that you're an adult now and you've rightly deduced this situation and that you're over it. Are you mad at mommy still? Because if you are, we can talk about it, Muffin. We can. Yes, we can, Muffin. We can talk about it. So, but I think you left one of your parents out because you did refer to your mother as human beings, plural. Are you combining? Did you have a mom, dad? Is your dad and mom one person? Because let's talk about your dad. How come two wonderful black parents had to adopt you? Why didn't your daddy adopt you, sir? Or ma'am? Where's your daddy? Okay. I'll give you some time to think of something to say. I'll give you some time, Muffin, but understand that I empathize with your situation. As a loved and favored child by both of my parents, I cannot relate, but my heart is open for you. Okay, it's filled with empathy. I really, really am sad that your parents put you in a position to where you had to be adopted. But I want to know how modern of a father your daddy was. Probably, actually, it seems like he was probably really modern because that's the status quo, right? Mm-hmm. Amen. So, leading to singledom. Let's talk about it.
Hard times getting into positive relationships, and also something that continues them.
It's a hard time getting into positive relationships because she says, I'm the daughter. Why didn't you contact me? Rivah, Muffin, you're struggling. You're struggling in this moment. I recommend NAD. NAD IV therapy is a wonderful thing when you have brain fog. I use it myself. It's a little expensive. It's like $800 for a drip, but you only have to do it like 2 or 3 times a year. But it helps rebuild cells, specifically brain cells. I believe it helps with that too. But it helps your cognitive reflex. You won't have to worry about making these kind of intellectual mistakes, we'll call it. Because I'm trying to figure out how are you tying in and making it her fault what Dr. Umar Johnson did to her. By the way, can you guys do me a favor? We are just 34 minutes into the live stream. I'm going to actually expose some stuff that no one else can expose about Dr. Umar because it does not exist in a capacity to expose him anymore because just so happens to be sealed information. Okay? We're going to show that not only did Dr. Umar neglect her, but he also neglected another child financially. He's actually had like 3 cases on child support, right? And from what I understand now, I can't verify this part, but it sounds like I'm hearing that there is one and a possible children out there too. And one of them might be half of a snow bunny. I don't know if that's the truth or not. So that part is alleged. But the 3 children with 3 different women, that you can take to the bank. Now, the one in the possible, and one of those possibles being a half snow bunny, I don't know. But understand that I'm diligently trying to figure it out. Okay? Amen. Now let's go ahead.
Allows them to continue the baby mama, baby daddy circle of, I don't need a man, I could raise him by myself, and he's supposed to do this anyway because he the daddy, and no, you don't gotta call him on Father's Day. Oh well, like this.
How are you deducing that from this situation? How do you deduce that? How do you determine that? How did you determine that that was the case? Because it's sounding like, to me, especially given the age of the mom when they got together, and given Umar's really terrible behavior towards the mom right now, right? Calling her mom a Smurf and saying that she probably misses him, even though she's a married woman. You know how he's so pro-black, but he's disrespecting a black husband, a black wife, a black family, instead of being grateful that somebody decided to step in and cover for the daughter that he practically abandoned, right? How do you deduce that this is what that is? This is what most of us would call, this is a climber, honey. This is what we call a climber, okay? And we're talking about the mentality, right? Climbing up Mammy Mountain. This is when people say that some women are male identified. This is what they're talking about. This is the psychology. Now understand, this is all for nigga snacks. Y'all know what nigga snacks is, right? Let me know if you know what a nigga snack is. Nigga snacks are niggas being in your face, niggas celebrating you, saying, "Oh, queen, yes, queen, you show right, queen, you show right. Get them. So ain't none. These women need to listen to you." On the Shahrazad Ali side of the game, okay. She just wants some nigga snacks, okay. Let's go.
This is the entitlement that causes that problem, and I've seen a lot of young women go through this. Like, I shouldn't have to reach out to my dad, whether I disrespected him, whether I treated him bad.
Okay. As a mother of adult children in their 30s, sometimes your children are going to get on your damn nerves, even when they're grown, and might walk up that line to disrespect, right? But even in that, it is your job as the parent to rear them back in, right? Like, what is she even talking about? How is it that Rivah TV has decided that Umar's absence from his children is because of the mothers? Because let me give you an example. Every man that I know that wanted his kids, if he didn't fight hard to get them, get custody of them, if he fought for those kids, he got those kids eventually. Okay? He got those kids. Every single one of them that I know. When you look up the data, men that actually show up and they are qualified and fit, if you take your ass to court and you fight for your kids, they will meet you there. Now, there are some things within that system that I do agree is ridiculous. I have seen the system be fail children and men. I have seen it, and a woman. I know a woman that the child support system was not kind to, right? But if you look up those stats, men who fight for their children, they typically get them. They typically get them. But let's be honest. Do they want to raise their children? And that's not even a shot. And y'all know I've been a supporter of give these men their children. That's my thing. Baby, give them their children. If they're fit and they ain't crazy and they ain't on drugs, which you shouldn't have no children with them anyway, if they are, Give them their children. When the child get done nursing and you done got them together to where they can be independent of you, get at. Look, my husband, no. We're old, so we're not having no kids, right? But he always knew in the event of a birth from me and we break up, guess what happens? He is going to have full custody and I'm going to be the most amazing, wonderful, best weekend and holiday mother ever to live. And I will pay my child support. But baby, get these men. I don't understand why y'all be fighting to raise these men. You let them men have their kids. If it's safe to do so. Do not fight no man for the, because most of the time you ain't gonna have you're not gonna have to fight him for that. Okay? They typically don't want to be bothered on a full-time basis. And given the status of Dr. Umar, living in bandos, living in cars, not having a car sometimes, living off a cash app from a school scam. Did he really need to be the custodial parent of these children? He knew that. He knew that. So all this, when have you ever seen a man that actually wanted his kids, fight for those kids and not get custody? Because I can literally name 3 off the top of my head that I know, and I know that's anecdotal, but you can actually go to the data and the data will tell you. They're not fighting for their children. Not like that. Okay.
Whether I, followed whatever my mom, infiltrated in my mind and put a space between my father and I should just override those things and he should just get over it because he's the adult and, we're going to go ahead and sweep it under the rug. And if he doesn't want to, that's his problem. A lot of people talk about this, oh, he's supposed to do that. He's supposed to. They always talk about how the men are supposed to go above and beyond and all the hoops that they're supposed to, jump.
Men going above and beyond for their children. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You, as a mother, you're supposed to go above and beyond. And as a father, you're supposed to go above and beyond. Absolutely. Absolutely, Miss Riva. Now, what is she even saying? I wanted to address this real quick because I almost forgot about it. The big cheese, because I asked you several questions. Ain't no sense in you responding to me if I'm not paying attention. So, Muffin, the big cheese says she lost me and my twin sister to the system, and I forgave her a long time ago, and I never met my father. You didn't try to find him. You don't but if you never met him, I mean, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Because you could tell from your first comment that you got hella smoke for your mama. And I understand that because mothers should not lose their children. Was she on drugs? Was she in pop? What was it, Muffin? What was it? She was just a horrible human being? Because it's a lot of mamas like that. We've been covering these cases of these mothers that are horrible. We talked about a horrible mother last night. But you need to hold your daddy just as accountable, because if you went to the system and you don't know your daddy, that nigga know he got a child. Okay? Unless your mama was a prostitute, and I hope not, but that's the only look, there's only a few ways out of that. I didn't mean to make that big. There's only a few ways out of that, Muffin. Okay? But make sure you hold your daddy accountable too.
But at what cost?
But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me.
Right. And so because he shut you down and because he ignored you, hence why you come on social media to bash him.
Is that bashing him, or is that calling a spade a spade? Remember, this is a public figure that has no problem calling out everybody. He will talk about who people married. He stay in somebody's marriage. Oh, and he stay, don't he stay? He's a coochie cop and the dick police at the same damn time. Amen. Isn't that what he does? He's a coochie. I'm going to do it like him. I said he's a coochie cop and the dick police. Dr. Umar Johnson is a coochie cop and the dick police. Umar Johnson is a coochie cop and the dick police. So if he's calling out everybody else's business online, his business is not exempt. He's always telling people who they're supposed to be with, telling women they need to, understand polygamy. They need to do this. They need to do that. I'm telling you how you're supposed to do this. He's in people relationships 24/7. So how in the hell is it that his daughter can't say, you fake? You full of it. You full of shit. How is it that his daughter can't say that? How is that? How's that even possible? That she can't say that, especially if it's her experience. See, I wonder, do you feel that way about the daughters who out their fathers for the unspeakable? Are they wrong when they take it to social media because they can't get results offline? Because had he acted like an adult offline, we wouldn't know his business. Well, I'm lying. I would still know his business. But for the most part, people would not know that he wasn't shit if he would have handled that shit offline. He could have lived in his Delulu land had he just gave his daughter the attention that she needed, respectfully. So I really do not understand how we're deducing that this is her fault. This is mammying 1-on-1. No accountability for the man. Everything that she's doing is pointing towards single motherhood because, men who cannot compete with other men and who need women to decrease so that they can increase, they need to hear this kind of stuff. They love to hear about being a single mom because for some reason they think that that's a reflection on the woman only, or they think that being a single mom is high treason or something like that. A lot of single mom shaming tactics, but I don't see no baby daddy shaming tactics going on here. This is why I say unwed breeders. This is why. Okay, let's go.
And bring highlights to the entire conversation. So again, 1 + 1 is equaling 2. You're upset, and because you're upset that you did not get the response that you felt like you deserved or that you wanted, you decided to take matters into your own hands, flip the script, and say, okay, I could show you better than I can tell you, and then try to again tarnish his character.
How is she tarnishing his character? If his character is reading that he's not taking care of his children, that he does not attend high school graduations, that he does not attend monumental events for his daughter, that's not a character tarnish. That's a character expose. So it's better to say that she exposed his character than to say that she's tarnishing it. Because what y'all want to do is y'all want to live in Delulu land with these Negroes. Okay? And my problem with this is, where is the cutoff point? Because people can sit up and say that, okay, you're bashing black men when you're talking about a bad black man. But isn't it important to separate the few good men from the fold? Isn't it important? Because, I mean, if we're talking about, do you understand what I'm saying? Isn't it important that we know the actual character of the people that you all call leaders, that you all call scholars, that you are requesting the most, that is literally influencing another generation? So what are we going to sit around and let, because see, hear me out. I haven't supported Dr. Umar since probably, I want to say 2012. 2013, somewhere around there, right? Let me see. Yeah. 2012. Maybe 2012 or 2013, right? But when I did support him, I supported him, and forgive me if you've heard this story. I supported him when supporting him was not to help me. It was to help somebody else's son. Okay. I supported him financially with donations to this school back when my son was a junior in high school. And I want my money back, right? My son was a junior in high school when I first started donating to this school. I bought the bullshit, baby. You know, we all bought the Hidden Colors bullshit. Okay? I supported it when my son was a junior. So my son would have never had the opportunity to benefit from that. And I was done having kids, of course, right? To put this in perspective, that's my generation that was, basically he took our money and played games with that. My son is now 34 years old with a wife and children of his own that are coming up. Is he supposed to be able to scam my son's generation? Is he supposed to be able to scam Gen Z as well? Where does how is it that it's, you need to quote unquote tarnish the characters of people that are doing this. And I'm saying that facetiously because it's not tarnishing if you're telling the truth. If you're telling the truth, if there is some source documentation that can prove what you're saying. At this point, the source documentation is the daughter and all that unpaid and all this 52 cycles that this man had in court for not paying child support. Let's talk about it. Okay? Because if you want to determine character, a person once told me, if you want to know the character of a man, ask his child. I've heard that before. Don't go ask his homeboys, ask his child. So, girl, la.
Exactly what's happening. And, smart enough to know and logical enough to know would be that would mean that you are able to contact your parents directly without getting strangers involved if you wanted a positive result.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, honey. If you got to get a stranger involved for child support, your point is moot. The mom already had to get a stranger involved, the child support system. Once I got to go and petition the courts to get you to take care of and take responsibility for what you made, Muffin, we've already passed that point. And at what point what does she want? What does she want? A shout out from Umar? What you want, Muffin? You want Umar to shout you out? I get it. Let's continue.
Because everybody knows when a man, any strong masculine man is going to stand 10 toes down regardless
of. A strong masculine man does not have to be hunted down by his children. How are we measuring masculinity and strength these days? Because standing 10 toes down on principle is not a masculine trait. It's a trait of integrity, right? Which you're kind of intertwining. Like, what is this? Exactly. Anti says they're trying to curry favor of Umar. Absolutely. It's really clear. It's really clear she wants Umar snacks. What would you do for an Umar snack? Girl. But she accused the daughter of clout chasing. She accused the daughter of clout chasing. Girl, la. If you don't get off this Negro's dingaling, girl, you don't want it. Dr. Umar is probably somewhere taking whole baths with lint and shit around his balls. And you sitting up here trying to ride that. Oh, girl. Let us continue.
Who said, what said? You're not going to be able to dictate that man's pace. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to push him into a corner, force his hand. You're not going to be able to do that with somebody who knows who they are.
Right. And you have to okay, it appears to me that Riva does not respect women. She does not respect women's autonomy. She does not respect women's feelings, women's thoughts, or women's minds, because Dr. Umar's daughter is standing 10 toes down on hers, which is why she said, I'm not meeting you next week because, basically I extended the olive branch before and you ignored me. So now that your ass is on blast, now you want to talk, right? So she's the one that's standing 10 toes down, right? She's the one that's standing 10 toes down. She is definitely not a respecter of women, which is why everything that Umar has done, she keeps saying, oh, yeah, that's, how they end up single mothers. That's how they do this. That's how they do that. And speaking of which, you guys don't mind if I take I have to address this because it's too much misinformation, and you probably, Big Cheese Muffin, you need to be here when I break down the comment that is on my community wall, because there's a lot of foolishness going on from you Negroes, and I am not pleased. Okay, so the Big Cheese says, Miss, let's address this. I'm very optimistic about the Gen Z's Black women because they do not have children out of wedlock at the rates of generations before them. No one had children out of wedlocks for the last 20 years at the highest rates. You know why? The birth rate has gone down. And the way that you're viewing this is from a stupid ass lens. And let me explain this to you. I know it's sometimes hard for you guys to piece together cause and effect, but that's what I'm here for. Now, Muffin, Gen Z's Black women have watched Gen X Black women, millennial Black women, and if they're fortunate enough, the boomer Black women, and perhaps even the silent generation, which would be their great grandmothers, right? Or great, yeah, because my grandmother is the silent generation and she's still living, and I have grandchildren. So yeah, so if they're fortunate enough, they have seen the damage. They've seen the damage. So you need to understand, sir, that in every culture in Western society, men control marriage, right? Men control marriage. And I know you think that Black women are magical creatures who impregnate themselves, right? And now I'm not saying that some women do not need to exercise proper pussy management, because indeed they do. That is not what I'm saying at all. But let's talk about it. Marriage is controlled by men, right? You have a higher chance as a Black woman of being the victim of a Black man than you do the wife of a Black man. Now, I know that sounds horrible. And if anybody wants to challenge me, you can, because the data is there. Okay? So if you cared about single mothers, I assume you have a wife. You have a wife, right? You don't have any children out of wedlock, and you have a wife because you care about marriage, because you've brought up single motherhood. And not only that, because this is another part of the conversation that a lot of people don't like to entertain, but I'm messy, so I don't care. Do you have options? Because when some of these men who don't have options, don't have wives, don't have children, but they're bitter and hurt about something, have a lot to say about marriage and single mothers, because the single mother's legs are probably closed to them. Let's just be honest. But going further, the lowest marriage rates of males belong to your group, right? Now, not to be confused with the fact that you marry Black women at a 96% clip when you do marry, but only 34% of you are going to get married. Okay? Those are the stats. On top of that, sir, though that 34% marriage rate, you have the highest rate of divorce. When you marry Black women, you have the highest rates of divorce within an intra, meaning you're both Black, right? Or you're both of the same racial background. When you marry outside of your race, that number doubles. So no matter who you marry, when you marry, you more than likely than anybody is going to end up in divorce. And when you go outside of your race, it still doesn't work. So this thing where you're trying to make black women, and I'm not saying that black women do not have fault in marriages being broke, because I know some dusty, grimy heifers. But let's just be clear. You're not the marrying kind. And I say this as a woman that happens to be married happily and come from a marrying kind of family. I recognize that that is not the norm because I understand the data. So let me scroll down and see. Right, you're single and childless. So why are you so concerned? You're single and childless. Go find you a wife and then come back and talk. Okay? Because see, what's happening is that Gen Z that you're so proud of, they saw what you did to Gen X. They saw what you did to millennials. They saw what you did to the boomers. They don't want to get married. They don't want to have your children. They don't. You guys took it and even like if you think about it, you tried to shame the girls in totality for the out of wedlock birth rate when women have never controlled marriage. Women control sex. So technically, I don't know why women are still having sex with men that they don't get a benefit from. So as much as you guys like to play Mr. Morals and say, you've got a baby out of wedlock, you should have been married. You ain't even marrying nobody. I imagine you're a virgin too, right? The big cheese? You're a virgin, right? You're pure as the undriven snow, right? I'm pretty sure you're pure. I'm pretty sure you're a virgin, right? You're a virgin. Correct me. But again, talking about, this out of wedlock birth rate, and with Gen Z not having the children out of wedlock, you've scared them they don't want to have children. You've made them feel like having children was a death sentence. You guys make them feel like having children is not a joyous occasion. You took the joy out of giving birth. So now Gen Z is walking around talking about their pronouns. They divested. They around here, Gen Z around here talk like all kind of shit. So congratulations. I'm glad that you're proud of them. Okay? I'm glad you're proud.
You should never be too busy for your daughter, ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side. So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me, because I want to know who you are. Why do I have siblings out there that I don't know about? It's unfair. And deadbeat fathers is very common nowadays, especially in the black community, right? We all know Dr. Umar reps the black community or whatever, but you can't rep that if you're not even in your daughter's life. You're moving backwards. You're moving backwards.
Tarnishing his character, right? Like, this is exactly what's happening. This is
How is she tarnishing his character if what she's saying is rooted in fact? Saying that he's repping the black community, being a deadbeat. We're going to show the documents that prove that he was being a deadbeat. If the courts have to force you to take care of your child, you're a deadbeat. If you don't show up for graduations, you're a deadbeat. You're a deadbeat. Point blank. How is that character tarnishing? Like, can someone tell me, is this woman, like, is she trying to get on? Now I see what Taz was talking about. Like, girl, Lola, I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you. I'm trying to put it like this. Taz said the dick riding was so heavy that he felt like Umar could, this is man talk, y'all know, fuck. And I literally almost just said, I feel like Umar can fuck. Like, seriously.
his your attempt to tarnish his character. And I do want to say this, right? I think that everybody paints the deadbeat dad conversation with one brush. There are some women who conceive a baby from a man.
Have we not listened to you paint women with one brush about them being single mothers and them? Have we not seen that? Isn't that what's going on here, Muffin? You're painting with the brush as well. And I don't think that she was painting all black men. She's talking about her father. She's talking about her father.
One night stand. Yes, both parties should have taken the active or respective whatever it is precautions so that a child was not conceived. People go through things, incidents happen, mistakes happen. Okay. They act like every person was in an effective, loving relationship and marriage and conceived a child through that situation, and that the mother, that there's no such thing as vindictive mothers who say, if you're not going to be with me, or if you're not going to stay here with me, you can't have the child, or, we don't need you, we could find somebody else. They act like those things do not happen. They do happen.
But and she's right. These things absolutely happen. But Muffin, we talking about her and her daddy. So how are you applying and painting that scenario on one particular person? Because it's one, like, you don't know. You can like literally say, well, it could be this, it could be that. Or it could be what she's saying too. Or it could be somewhere in the middle. But what we had, but again, let's be contextually relevant here, though. What have we saw? We've saw her reaching out for him respectfully. We saw her, telling her truth or whatever you want to call it. And we also saw Umar's ass get real hot and bothered over there, calling her baby Smurf and Papa Smurf and all this old weird shit. And what was this Negro talking about? You clout chasing, you're a struggle streamer trying to clout chase off me. You don't got no smoke for that. Look, what in the Handmaid's Tale? This girl, I mean, it's giving handmaiden at this point. Baby, I feel like I can't even remember them characters' name, but I heard it's about to come back, y'all. Handmaid's Tale about to come back. So y'all know we're gonna be watching it on Patreon again. Listen, this woman is literally being that's the handmaiden. She's what was the main woman in the Handmaid's Tale, the old mean heifer. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She was enforcing all the rules and stuff, being mean, making sure the girls was in check and stuff. That's what we're looking at. I can't think of that lady's name, but that's what it's giving, Muffin.
It's reality. A lot of people just like the name Deadbeat Daddy because it sounds better than I pushed that man out of his daughter's life because he no longer.
This is hard. Let me. I see exactly what Taz was talking about.
Wanted to be with me. And so I decided to drive a wedge between him and his child. No, that's too lengthy. That puts too much onus on the mother being wrong or her being in the gap of separating, father and child. And so they all use the tagline, Deadbeat Dad.
Are you painting her with a broad brush? So is she trying to say that there is no such thing? There's no context for a deadbeat dad? Is that what she's saying to us? Is that exactly? It's Lydia, Aunt Lydia. That's who she is. Like, how do you get there? But again, this is virtue signaling. This is a dog whistle for men who can identify with this, right? Because there are men that can identify with this scenario. This is for Nacre Snacks. You know what I'm saying? This is saying, this is so you right, queen. You right, queen, because my baby mama that I chose, who wasn't shit, who I wasn't supposed to be messing with anyway, she did the same thing. Because my baby mama just like that. That's what that is for. That's for men to say, see, more women need to be like you. This is, and I'm going to tell you something, and this may not be her, but it's been my experience that a lot of times these women that be mammying like that, when they are married, they're married to some dumbass simps. I don't know this woman's status, right? So I'm not even talking about, I don't even know what her situation is. But what I've seen from a lot of times when women take these perspectives, their men love to hear this general cape. Just like I tell women, you got to be leery for a man that agrees with every goddamn thing that you say. I do not want no yes man around me. I do not want no man that sees life through my lens and understands everything that I say from my woman's perspective. I do not want to be agreed with every 5 minutes. I do not want him to think that I am right about everything. I need to know, right, that you're not full of shit, number one, but it's a problem, right? Because men are not supposed to be able to see 100% in totality from the feminine lens because it's not their experience, right? And typically when men pretend, because it is pretending, they're either gay or they're full of shit and trying to make sure that you don't suspect them of nothing. They're flying under the radar. That's game. If your man don't piss you off and get to the point where there are certain things where you just can't get it through his male skull, what you talking about? And he's completely, or a man that is completely agreeable with you, something is wrong. Something is wrong. No man should be 100% agreeable with you. No man. Now, does that mean he's supposed to disrespect you because you got a different opinion? No. That ain't what that mean. That don't mean that your opinion don't mean shit. He ain't got to be down with everything that you say. But he got to respect you, right? That's a different thing. Same likewise. When you got a woman that's 100%, and listen, bros, in case you don't know, if you around a woman who amen everything that you said, who everything that you talking about, she understand, she agree, she right with you. That you're them women out of pocket on every single thing. She don't never take the woman's side. She always seems to understand the male perspective. Watch what happens. She'll start speaking for you. She'll start answering for you, or not even, maybe not you, for other men, right? You better understand that's game. And you better understand, if you got a woman that's sitting up doing all this talking, this hypercriticism of women and putting all of the accountability, the majority of the accountability on women in conference, especially with something like this, she's entertaining for the next Negro. She's entertaining for the next dude. Okay? Look, she's auditioning for the next man. So y'all, and think about it. Any of these men, exactly, Asia, she got an agenda. Okay? Take this free game. She got an agenda. She's sitting there, she is performing, she is doing the equivalent of twerking a perfectly round ass in front of a man when she's doing what some of these women are doing, going completely male identified. It's fake. It's fake. It's absolutely fake. Let us continue.
It's not making sense. To the public, you look like this person, but in private, you a whole nother person. And I'm not bashing you. I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life.
Maybe this is one of the reasons why he ignores you. Maybe because he knew you might be a wild card. Look at the eyes. Look at the crazy eyes. Maybe he knew you might be a little bit of a wild card. Maybe he knew, or the way in which you communicate with him, he already was like, no, I want to distance myself from this situation that could lead to a problem. Because if he is not communicating with you and in the way in which you want him to, you said he ignored you, and you go on social media and try to bash him. Imagine if you know even more intricate details of his life. You would be out there selling it on the internet. You'd be calling TMZ.
Y'all, let me digest this. Let me hear it one more time, because I just know she didn't say what I thought she just said.
Maybe he knew you might be a little bit of a wild card. Maybe he knew, or the way in which you communicate with him, he already was like, no, I want to distance myself from this situation that could lead to a problem. Because if he is not communicating with you and in the way in which you want him to, you said he ignored you, and you go on social media and try to bash him. Imagine if you know even more intricate details of his life. You would be out there selling it on the internet. You'd be calling TMZ.
If she didn't do it when he didn't show up for her graduation, but he's sitting around acting like he cares about other children graduating, if she didn't go to TMZ behind that, baby, then what is you talking about? And even in this is her sending the signal, don't trust these women.
You are actively showing us the reason why, a strong possibility of why this man is maybe not active in your life. And
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the baby say he has never been active in her life, that he's never shown up for her? She's, you know what?
Oh, Mammy, I'd be in trouble if you left me now. I don't know where to get free love, and I just don't know how. Oh, Mammy, what am I gonna do? I need you here, right here. And girl, you know nobody wants you. I'm a friends call me a fool. They say, let the mammy take care of you. So I try to be hip and think like the crowd, yeah. And not only the
Y'all, let's take a quick break. Listen, let me introduce you guys, or reintroduce some of you guys, to a sponsor that is really, really good. And if you want amazing skin and you want a granny that is flawless, you want to be a granny that is flawless without the wrinkles. Not that I'm flawless, but this is good skincare. Okay. Check this out. This product is so important because not only is it produced with care, but it actually has proven results. There have been over 10,000 units of this sold. The company name is shareabutters.com, and this was developed with love by a woman who simply wanted to help her beautiful daughter as she recovered from the devastating effects of cancer, chemo, and radiation burn, and has helped many others with fading stretch marks, eczema, and many other skin issues. Check out the website, as it has tons of other valuable products. Check it out. There will be a link and a discount code pinned in the comments section of this video. Okay, and we are back. All right, so do me a favor, make sure you're subscribed and you've hit the thumbs up, because we're in a relationship now. Let's continue while I get these documents downloaded.
If you are acting like this, I can guarantee that it is because of the things that your mother has told you. And if you act like her, then maybe that's another reason why there's a strain between you and your dad having a good relationship, because maybe the remnants of her attitude and you, he didn't want to deal with the drama. Okay, he had to protect maybe his own mental health so he can go out here and continue helping the rest of the community. I'm just keeping it real, y'all.
No graduations, no parties. When I get married, are you going to be at the wedding? Are you going to walk me down the aisle? Yo, I have a stepdad who has been in my life since a little girl.
This is how we know this stuff don't make no sense. This is how we know this stuff doesn't make no sense. You said that this man has never, come to any graduation. He's never come to any birthday party. He's never come to any event. He's never been around. The two of you basically do not have any kind of relationship. But then you're saying, who are you going to be there to walk me down the aisle? Why would he? Okay, that is a father-daughter relationship thing. If you guys do not have a father-daughter relationship, why would he be there to walk you down the aisle?
Y'all, this is wow. Wow. What? Now I see what this is why from what I understand, the men in her comment section were going in basically telling her, you get this is wrong. You got this one wrong. I just know I didn't hear that right. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Why would he?
Yo, I have a stepdad who has been in my life since a little girl.
This is how we know this stuff don't make no sense. This is how we know this stuff doesn't make no sense. You said that this man has never, come to any graduation. He's never come to any birthday party. He's never come to any event. He's never been around. The two of you basically do not have any kind of relationship. But then you're saying, who are you going to be there to walk me down the aisle? Why would he?
So I think that was a hypothetical question, but if you want to know why so many men are comfortable with walking away from their children, and so many men were in the comment section in my video saying she's grown, don't worry about it or whatever, just off the fly. Now, I'm in a different time zone with my dad, right? I'm an old lady. Let's just see. He probably sleep. Let me see. I think it's 11. Oh, I shouldn't be calling my dad this late. But I bet you he might answer. Nah, he probably sleep. He old, y'all. A mailbox. Okay. So he didn't answer. Okay. But what I can guarantee you is that before this stream is over, I guarantee you my dad's gonna call me. You're not done parenting at 22 or when your children become adults. You're not done. Your parental obligation is different. Your role is different, but you're not done. You're not done with them, especially at 22. Who at 22 has it all together? Who has it all together at 22? This is like, people want to talk about, like, dude wanted to talk about the community being jacked up because of single mothers. No, the community also can be jacked up if you're sending children out there at 22 and just saying that they're grown. They're grown at 22. I'm really missing, where is the compassion for the trauma that is imposed upon a child that grows up without their father. And let me give her point. Because her point is she's assuming that it's the mother's fault, right? Let's say it is the mother's fault. We're not talking about Umar Johnson, who works at Amazon, even though he probably should go find a job at Amazon. But we're not talking about the dude that works at the hot dog stand. We're not talking about the janitor. We're talking about the school psychologist, the child psychologist, who's the dad. That's who we're talking about. We're talking about the most requested scholar. We're talking about someone who advocates for the children of others. So you don't think that your own child may need some developmental advice, may need some nurturing, may need some guidance because I've heard him talk about children that do not get, the care and support from their dads, right? Maybe Miss Rivah TV is not intelligent enough to know that even if it is her mother's fault, I'm just giving it to her that even though if a man wants his kids, he can figure that shit out. Let's say her mama ruined it. She's 22 now. What's stopping it now? And let's say she is ruined. Let's say it's her mom's fault. You mean the psychologist is not going to help his own baby? The psychologist doesn't care about the 22-year-old. He's got so much compassion for these boys. Even we've heard him have compassion for adult black males, and make up all types of scenarios. I specifically remember a line in Hidden Color where Umar was saying, yeah, people get mad because someone, a man got fired at work because, he cussed somebody, he went into a store, he robbed the store or whatever, and they don't realize that he just got fired from his job and his rent is due and now he don't have no money and such and such. He made up scenarios to excuse the behaviors of adult men, and he does this all the time. Where is that same concession being given for his own daughter? Because he makes concessions for men all day. All day he makes concessions for men. All day he does. Right, he had compassion for Sukihana. Suki out here slinging more coochie than the law allow. And he had compassion for her. So even if this situation, like I said, even if she's damaged because it's her mother's fault or whatever, it ain't his obligation to support her. And I'm not even talking about financial. How does he walk out of this scenario scot-free? No accountability. And then the cycle, as they like to talk about, these cycles continue, right? So how does the cycle continue? Your biological father is in everybody else's face talking about their cookies and Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunnies Lever, not supporting you, not showing up for you. So you learn really early on that niggas will be fake as hell in the public, right? And then you learn really early on, if you try and hold that person being fake accountable, that women and men will support him and bash you in your trauma and in your hurt. So now she's supposed to become somebody's wife or girlfriend without any damage. Because I love the fact that these men love to talk about women being damaged. But don't nobody want to talk about who damaged them, be it their daddy, their mama, or the man. Real interesting.
Okay, that is a father-daughter relationship thing. If you guys do not have a father-daughter relationship, why would he be there to walk you down the aisle? Okay, let's just put on our own thinking cap.
And she's basically telling her, get over it. Your daddy don't want you. You don't have no relationship with him. You're not entitled to have that's what she's telling him. So I'm trying to figure out, like, where does that come from? Where's that come from?
Number 2, how disrespectful to the stepdaddy.
And like I said, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. I forgot. My dad called me back. So watch this. Not him not gonna answer the phone now. Let me take my phone off Do Not Disturb so he can call back. You know what? Let me just leave him a voice message. Because I really want to ask him a question off the fly about this. Look, he probably did go back to sleep. But his mailbox is full. What's going on? The mailbox belonging to my dad is a businessman, so his mailbox is going to be full. Let me make sure I turn my ringer up for when he calls back. Now it's late, right? I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is a message between him and it says call me. Okay? He says call me because I missed his call. But anyway, crazy. Like I can even remember because my dad got a bunch of daughters. Okay, and my dad's first marriage was to my mother. He's on his second marriage that he's been in for, I don't know, probably like, I don't know, 40 years or something like that. But anyway, so all my sisters, we share. I'm the only one that doesn't. My mom and dad got married as teenagers, really early. But I said all that to say, my dad will go over to my sister's house to cut her grass, pick up his grandchildren. Like this is such a foreign concept to me, and I empathize so greatly with people who did not experience what I experienced and know what I know about having a father that actually gives a damn. You know, it's like this is every child deserves to be loved and feel safe with their parent. And it's so unfortunate that so many of us don't know what that looks like. And so many people are hurting and out here fucked up because it's a shame. It's a shame. And the way that this woman is putting this all on her is incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
See, and this is why men don't want to be stepdads. This is why. This is the 100% reason why men do not want to be stepdads. Because you are on the internet acting like a fatherless child when you had this man who came and I guess into your mother's life and has been there since you were a little child. And you acting like, you don't know who's going to walk you down the aisle. Wouldn't that be the right of your stepfather? Like, I could have seen
the right as someone that has an active father and an active stepfather. You want either them both. I had them both. You either want them both to do it or you want your father. And this is no diss to the man that stepped in alongside my father, because I pretty much lived with my father, right? But when I would go to my mother, there was with my stepfather. So I don't discount his contributions to my life, but my biological father absolutely took precedence. And even when you talk to people that don't, don't know or don't have a great relationship with their father, they still long for it. This is like, y'all, this is kind of hurtful. It's hurtful.
She said, even when it comes to me getting married one day, I already know my stepfather's going to be there because he was there more than you. She didn't even say that. She's still asking Dr. Umar to be that space. When she
didn't ask, it sounded like it was a hypothetical situation. That's what it sounded like to me. Like, didn't she says, who, girl,
had a man who stepped in and stepped up.
He has been in my life. And I thank God for him, because my biological father couldn't even do that, y'all. My biological father is not even on my birth certificate, because when my mom had me, he left.
That's not a red flag to you? That's not going to cause you to ask questions to your own mom?
Is she okay? Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag for the father. If he left when she had, y'all, and like, I'm not like, what is going on here? She's making me feel like I've had some champagne or something. Like, what is happening?
That's like flashing lights to me. If you are, if your father's name on your birth certificate is blank, number one reason for that being is it was a possibility that could not have been his baby.
This is why I hate people who don't read the data talking about stuff like this, because if you're not familiar with the data and you're not like, ooh,
okay, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. That is a I'm not really sure situation. That's what that is. That's usually the number one reason why.
I can prove that's my father. I would never get on here and lie to y'all. That's kind of sick and delusional and crazy. But I'm just making this video because I want to find my sister.
Yeah, so, well, maybe there was a DNA test done after the fact, but maybe the DNA test was done for a reason.
And when I reached out to him about giving me her number, or if he even had it, I was ignored. So now I guess I have to take matters into my own hands. So if you see this video, sister, please reach out to me, because if he's not going to allow us to be in contact, I'll do it myself. I just want to end this video by saying that daughters who have deadbeat fathers should not have to go through this. This is very present in the black community. And as an activist, I would not think that you would be a deadbeat because you rep the black community so much.
So what you trying to say? You're a better activist? You would be a better activist for the black community than your father is? Is that what you're trying to say?
Muffin, how did you come to that conclusion? How, y'all, this is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. Who was there for Taz's stream? I know Taz drugged this. I know Taz called this woman 100 bitches. I know he did. Forgive him, y'all. Who was there? I know Taz. I know him. Matter of fact, he probably on a stream. Gonna call his ass. Okay? Because I know what Taz did this morning. I know he did. He in the garage. I know Taz did this. I know he did. There is no way he could listen to this woman. She said he did better. He did. That's good.
Like, are you trying to school him on the things that he's...
Bae.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah. So you reviewed Rivah TV stream today, right?
Yeah.
And how many bitches you call her?
About 3 or 4.
Oh,
I was trying my best. It's that many. I was trying my best not to do all of that. I wasn't I ain't really with none of that. I'm trying to keep my audience listening without offending their ears.
Okay. You know you're live, by the way.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out because baby, I'm struggling.
Okay, was you struggling to not call her names?
Yeah, because I mean, it's how is she coming up with this stuff? This is really disturbing.
Yeah, she kind of got her own idea of how this all played out, and I think that's what I didn't like about it. Because, like, I get if Umar says some of that and you believe him and I don't, or so inserting scenarios to make what she was doing legitimate.
Yeah,
I just think that's wrong. He never said that stuff, so. Yeah,
yeah.
so why are you saying that?
Yeah, that like that and like this is just is so weird to me. But as soon as I forgot what it was that she just said, I'm like, oh Lord, I know Taz called this woman 100 bitches.
Yeah, nah, I was trying not to do all of that though. Like I say, for real, I'm trying to be less, and I'm gonna say emotional, but show less emotion in the video. I mean, people who know my position know I can't stand that type of stuff, but yeah. I don't have to show it that way. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just trying to do things a little bit different.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I know.
Good job, baby. Bye-bye. Ciao, cause baby.
Doing for all these years, are you trying to say that you are you're better suited to have certain conversations because of you knowing that he's not doing a certain specific part? What you trying to say? Because that's what it's giving.
But it's not like, girl, like, are you high? Because it's like she said nothing remotely close to her wanting to be an activist, but she was trying to hold the activists accountable. You know how like people keep saying, how are you always discussing the Black family and parenting and responsibility and accountability of Black men if you're not walking the walk yourself? Okay. Oh my God. Sassy Lady G2G, hey girl, a lie. She says, I'm subscribed to her and she's definitely male biased. Usually she's logical, but this here got me looking at her with the side eye. I'm going to have to look at some more of the content because, baby, look, I'm struggling, Sassy Lady. I'm struggling, Muffin. I'm struggling. Okay? Hey, let's talk about it. Hey girl, a lie. She sounds like a cloud chaser. A cloud chaser, it sounds, I'm not saying it is, but it sounds like clout chasing and a little dick thirstiness.
It doesn't make any sense. You cannot be a hypocrite. You can't say do A, but you're doing B. It doesn't make any sense. So y'all already heard my mission for this video. Y'all already heard why I'm making this video. So if she can reach out to me, I would love that. I would love to have a conversation with you because you are my sister on my father's side that I have never met. I don't even know your name. I don't even know how old you are. I have a sister on my mom's side and I'm the oldest. I'm pretty sure that my sister that's on my dad's side, I'm probably older than her. I'm supposed to be guiding her. I'm supposed to be teaching her things.
Things like what? Things like what? Seems like you have a lot to learn still. So what do you want to teach your sister on your father's side that you do not know, we're not raised with, never grew up around? How she...
Y'all. Do y'all hear this? Teach her like what? So she's completely disqualified from having any value because her dad has not validated her?
I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain where I can save him. I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain so he can cheat on me. I don't mind if he calls me trash. He can even beat me. I'm climbing Mammy Mountain. Mammy Mountain. I'm a big mammy. He can cheat on me. He can beat me. I'm sad.
So she also made mention of her basically not being able to teach her anything because she wasn't raised with it, doesn't have any experience. Her mother's a married woman, and I know how much you value women having a man in their life. Why are you counting her out because of Dr. Umar? Now, as much as I don't want to disrespect Rivah, like, your disrespect of this girl is ridiculous. It's disgusting. Like, let me rewind it a little bit, I guess, to get on my own nerves a little bit more.
My mission for this video, y'all already heard why I'm making this video. So if she can reach out to me, I would love that. I would love to have a conversation with you because you are my sister on my father's side that I have never met. I don't even know your name. I don't even know how old you are. I have a sister on my mom's side and I'm the oldest. I'm pretty sure that my sister that's on my dad's side, I'm probably older than her. I'm supposed to be guiding her. I'm supposed to be teaching her things.
Things like what? Things like what? Seems like you have a lot to learn still. So what do you want to teach your sister on your father's side that you do not know, were not raised with, never grew up around? How she can also not like your father, or how she can...
You like, she's literally determined that this girl has no value. Like,
gain, grow on the campaign of you, be arm in arm with you, of how you guys can dislike him together and bash him and talk. Are you now in the position of recruiting more troops? Because why now? Why, when you want to bash him, all of a sudden is I'm looking for my sister? Let's just be real. You want to be the activist and the stand-up person for the troops of your father's children that you did not grow up around. You have a sister that's right there with you. Why are you not focused on your own sister that you did grow up with? You reaching out for another troop so we can stand arm in arm on, we can't stand Dr. Umar Train. Let us show you how inadequate he is.
Because you as the father, you're not doing that. So let me do that as an older sister.
So you want to be the better actor because of life and growth and being in certain situations and figuring things out. So you want to showcase the better qualities that your father allegedly does not possess, because he is an inadequate man. He's not a good guy. He's a deadbeat dad. He shouldn't be an activist. He's a hypocrite. All these things. You want to show that you are the better version of that. And you guys are going to tell me that this is not a direct, example of when women infiltrate the minds of their daughters?
you said y'all are frozen? Are you still frozen? Let me see. Oh, it's not frozen anymore? Okay. Leela, not Layla, said make her stop. Girl, we got like 15 minutes to go.
You can't convince me otherwise. And you know what's so funny is when I saw this, it reminded me of a clip. And in the clip, it was Dr. Umar talking about the fact that, just from my interpretation, he had a baby, okay, or he had children with women, and it was not intentional. And those women wanted
at least 3 women, but it was not intentional, so he gets a pass, right?
okay, well, you know, since we having a baby, you might as well marry me. I understand, right? Marry
How does she come up with these scenarios though?
before you carry. However, he broke it down that they didn't know each other like that.
My daughter's mothers felt they should have become my wife purely due to pregnancy. I said, we can continue to explore, to date. I would like to move in with you. We have to learn more about each other before we decide to spend.
But you don't have no problem getting them pregnant, because see, these men love to talk about these old school values and old school morals. Okay, that's what the shotgun weddings corrected. Okay, it didn't used to be, oh, she pregnant. It used to be, oh, you got a family. When that stopped happening, the accountability stopped being taken, and all of these unwed breeders came out.
The rest of our lives together. And they arrogantly said it ain't going to work that way.
Now, again, 100%, a lot of these things would be, you know, something that we don't have to talk about, especially in the black community, if there was still, if there was, you know, such an important.
He did say move in with her. I wouldn't look. Listen, y'all. A real man is not comfortable moving in your house, especially he didn't got you pregnant. Okay, they're not comfortable with moving in your house. They will go. I can't. Okay. What? Hey, Wayne, and shut up. You are mean. You definitely are mean.
On, you know, marry before you carry, even, you know, being a long-term relationship.
She's saying marry before you carry. Well, why you didn't tell him to marry before you impregnate? Put a ring on it before you before you get on it. Whatever.
With someone before you guys conceive a child. Like, we would, if we were standing 10 toes down on those principles, these conversations would be very minuscule, right? However, this is the reality of life. Things happen. You have people who say they on the pill, they're not on the pill. You have people who saying that, you know, oh, well, they got certain medical conditions and they can't, you know, conceive. They be lying. You know, you have, you know, certain situations that people lie. You also have careless decisions from both parties, right? Where the man is obviously being careless. If you do not see this woman, you know, possibly being somebody that you would be with for the rest of your life, then it would behoove you to take certain precautions to make sure that you withdraw from that situation effectively enough so that you are not in a certain situation. Okay? Or, you know, put a cap on. Especially in the era that we're in now. Now, this was obviously more than 20-something years ago. He obviously was probably not the same person he is now that he was then. People make mistakes. People grow. Things happen.
But notice she don't have none of that for the mothers. The mothers are just bad. The mothers, she has created all of these scenarios for them. But, you know, even if he was bad, he's probably not the same way anymore.
But that's the end of this video. As I stated in the beginning of this video, I'm not trying to bash this man. I'm stating facts. Facts. And in the next clip, I will show y'all the screenshot of me trying to reach out to him, and he ignored me after I asked him if he had my sister's phone number. So here you go.
Y'all.
All right, so before we get into Dr. Umar, let me go ahead and show you guys the messages, the text messages between her and Dr. Umar that she said that he ignored her. So we see a message here, and it says Dr. Umar in her phone, and it looks like she sent a picture. And it looks like maybe, and before those messages, she said something like, "This is your daughter," whatever the case is. So he texts back and he says, "Peace and Pan-Africanism. If this is, in fact, my daughter, is there a reason why you're not messaging me directly from your cell phone?" Which would, again, negate the fact that she said that he, you know, has no contact with her. He's never been in contact with her and stuff like that. Obviously, he has her phone number to know that this is a different number. But let's continue. She says, "This is my iCloud, but my phone number is," whatever the case. He said, text me from your phone, which is not strange. This is very understandable because of the fact it's like, you know, he is obviously a public figure. People be out there trolling. People are strange. People do weird things. He wants to make sure and confirm that this isn't indeed who he is actually talking to. Let's continue again. She says, this is Anissa. She put her phone number. He says, this is a different number. Why the different numbers? 267 or 443? She said 443. She then said, do you have any other children? I would love to meet them. Do you have their numbers? Now, this was, I believe it was Sunday. It says Friday to Sunday. I don't know the dates on these messages. Based on her posting the video, it seems like it's only been a couple of days. Okay? That would mean it has been less than a week at this point. And so because he did not answer fast enough, in less than a week, you took things to social media. And you wonder why.
How hard is it to tell me about my other siblings?
He don't want to fool with you. Okay, you're confused about why he don't want to fool with you. I can give you an idea. I can give you some sort of idea. Then she posts this picture of Dr. Umar and Suki and put, somebody go tell Suki I'm trying to get in contact with my father. Disrespectful. Again, if you're not chasing clout, why are you tagging Sukiana?
Because she's petty. She being petty. And so what? So damn what?
So this is the first thing that Dr. Umar, responded by saying before he ended up making the video that we're going to see. And it says, good Garvey Day. As I don't live in the prison of other people's opinions, I have no interest in discussing nor explaining my private life with any of you. My 15 years as the most relevant and requested scholar, orator, activist, Pan-Africanist in the world has made it clear to me that the Negro public is only interested in laughs at the expense of other people's misery. Neither the Kunocracy nor the YouTubian struggle streamer community couldn't care less about the truth of this situation. With that being said, please ask that little girl to stand on business by asking her mother to join in on a three-way conversation about why her father hasn't been present in her life. I have no problem with this conversation being public, but her mother must be present for that conversation.
Well, doesn't that negate what he said earlier and what you said? Now, he said that the community just wants to joke and laugh and all this kind of stuff and proceeds to call her names. And now her mother needs to be present. I thought y'all said she was grown. And they would have a separate, like,
needs to keep the same energy and bring her mother to the table. I am sure the truth will be revealed if all three of us are present together. I have absolutely nothing to hide, and I still have all of my family court paperwork. And
Black Hourglass, honey, I'm glad you mentioned that. Not only did Marcus Garvey move his mistress into the marital home, but a lot of people don't know this, but Amy Garvey, right, was his wife's name. Both his wife's name. The first Amy Garvey, who wrote the books for him, handled the publication and all this kind of stuff. His first wife, she took a bullet for him. What was her thanks for him? Yes, Marcus Garvey's wife was shot trying to protect him. Oh, but it gets better. Her maid of honor, the other Amy, is who Marcus ended up marrying. So he ended up messing around. I did a video about this a long time ago. People got so mad because the truth hurts people. Yes, he did that. He did that. He absolutely did that. He married her best friend. And the first Mrs. Garvey took a bullet for that Negro. I don't do well, you know what? Negroes be. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
In case any lies are told. Trying to use your father's name to build your struggle streamer career is not cool.
Why isn't it though? Why isn't it? Again, she should be able to build from her father. If your kids are supposed to benefit from every. When I tell you, there is not anything that we have. Our adult children, all of our children, they benefit from every part of our lives. Every part of our lives. Anything that we have, whatever we've been enriched with, whatever we've been blessed with, they're blessed because of it too. From where we live and how we live, the grandchildren are even in mind.
Hashtag no more lies. Hashtag tell the whole truth. Hashtag princess of Pan-Africanism. And hashtag most requested. I don't know what the last thing says. To which the daughter responded and said, why would I need you to build my name? I have my own. You're a deadbeat father. Let's clock that. I messaged you multiple times and you ignored me. So if you really want to have a conversation, message me. I'm not going to harass you. You don't have your own name, okay? Because we had no idea that he even had a daughter by the name of Anissa.
And whose fault is that? If she don't have her own name, whose fault is that? Because this reminds me of how Negroes love to say black women don't have any wealth. Y'all don't have nothing. Y'all be getting evicted. Well, where do these things, where does that come from though? Because typically, where does the wealth come from? Where does the name come from? Your father. You inherit that shit. Speaking of which, I'm gonna leave him alone. Where do you inherit that from?
Okay, that never happened. You 100% have brought some kind of identity to yourself through using the name of your father. Hence why when you posted the text messages, you made sure that it said Dr. Umar and not Dad.
Well, didn't you just say that they didn't have a father-daughter relationship? So you established that when she was talking about who was going to walk her down the aisle. You said who? Why would he? You don't have a father-daughter relationship, so why should she put Dad as his name? Ray Muse, go to the wall, sir. Ray Muse said, at least it wasn't Ifatunde. Go to bed, sir. That was quite funny. Look, what is she even saying? Yeah, he dyed his beard.
Or biological father, or whatever the case that, y'all be putting. Him calling her struggle streamer was kind of like a key to me because, she has comedian and stuff on her Instagram. She's obviously trying to brand herself again by grabbing on this situation, using it.
So people don't get a start? People don't get a start? So because she's new and she's climbing up and she's not scamming and lying to the black community in order to get clout, she's using, comedian or whatever she's doing. People don't get to have a beginning. So now you're trying to shade her. So everybody doesn't have the talent to sit up and try to appeal to men in a fake way to
her, best benefit. Here's what Dr. Umar had to say.
Y'all know me too well. Y'all know my love for children is too strong. For anybody to be coming out the woodworks telling you they've been trying to reach me when my number has been public for 20 years. Listen, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to listen. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. So anybody telling you they've been trying to reach me and my phone number hasn't changed in 20 years, mind you, I speak at graduations in Philadelphia all the time. I'm on the street in Philadelphia all the time. I have events in Philadelphia all the time. I got family in Philadelphia everywhere. And you've been trying to find me? Stop the cap now. Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back, coming up out of nowhere, acting like you've been looking for me. Get Mama Smurf. When can the three of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down?
You know, the reason why I think that this is so crucial to what he said, I'm not going to pause for too long, is because you see, when women are left alone with their children and they infiltrate their minds so much, and they tell them all kinds of lies, or they kind of skew the mindset of what that daughter or that child would have with their father, you know, it usually only stands up if the father is actively pushed out and is not present. You see, even if the child goes and is around their dad and they have...
How did she come to this conclusion? How did she just make an out for this man that she does not know? How is she not willing to at least have 10% neutrality in the situation? Or even just be honest? This is insane. But let's just, because like, honey, we're going to establish this deadbeat shit. We're definitely going to do that. Okay? Make no mistakes about it. We're going to establish this deadbeat shit today. Okay? I'm going to go back to it, but I need y'all to see this. Okay? Let me see something here because I want it all the way on the screen. Okay? And what I'm going to do is, let me see. I'll have to make a little watermark because people like to steal stuff. Okay. Let's see. We're going to make this the text color. We're going to add it, right? All right. What we have here is something, and the names of the innocents have been marked out, right? But we're going to go ahead and look at this docket detail. So what we're looking at is not even the daughter that is on the screen. This is not her. This is not from her cases, right? Let me see. This is gonna get on my nerves. Forgive my OCD for a second. Okay. We're gonna look at how many times this mama and how far back she's going with courts. You see that number at the bottom? It says 52. Okay. 52. Now, this is not something that you can get anymore. You can only get this if you have some special connections, right? But these are every time this Negro was found in contempt, every time there was a hearing, he lost his driver's license in 2021 for not paying child support for the child that is older than the one that is on the screen. Okay? As you see, order to seek and report employment, which means what? Means he didn't have no employment, means he didn't have a job, means that he literally had no way of providing for his daughter. But what was going on in 2021? Y'all was sending him money. If memory serves, was 2021 the video that we saw of him sitting in the hot tub talking about how he was relaxing in China? Okay. As you see at the bottom, it says 1 through 20 of 52 docket entries. 52 cycles. That's 52 cycles you have for not paying for your child. Okay? Contempt issued. You suspended the driver's license in February. Then we got an order to restore the driver's license. Right? Just like this dude, what is this one? Pro se contempt petition filed by plaintiff. The plaintiff would be the mother. Order to vacate a bench warrant against the defendant issued. Warrants for child support. Who gets warrants for child supports except a deadbeat? Only a deadbeat will get a. Who gets a? Can somebody please tell me who gets a warrant for child support but a deadbeat? A paternity for this child established in 2018. And I suspect he knew, but this was just a stalling tactic. 52 cycles in court for your own child. Only for just a few years later, you lose your driver's license because you don't want to pay. Get out of here with this mess. Is this not, am I reaching, or is this not a deadbeat? 52 cycles. 52 cycles, y'all. So anyway, let her continue with her mess.
One with their father, they're still having the conversation as if they were their mother, the person who infiltrated their mind, right? So whenever he's responding, they're responding back to him in their mind as if they were the person who has done all of this mind manipulation been told, and expressing his part of the story. Which would mean that the foundation that she built around that child's mind would start to crumble.
How the fuck do you come up with this? Y'all, when we get done, we're going to go up to this comment section because, baby, I'm here. I want to see this. I want to see this.
Would be a problem.
We're frozen? Oh, Lord. Oh, okay, it's unfrozen. All right.
The reason why parents lie is to...
Let me rewind so you guys can catch that bullshit.
You know, the reason why I think that this is so crucial to what he said, I'm not going to pause for too long, is because you see, when women are left alone with their children and they infiltrate their mind so much and they tell them all.
So you can't trust women to be mothers. Women, blanket statement. She just got through talking about broad statements. But when women are left alone with their children,
kinds of lies, or they kind of skew the mindset of what that daughter or that child would have with their father. You know, it usually only stands up if the father is actively pushed out and is not present. You see, even if the child goes and is around their dad and they have a conversation one-on-one with their father, they're still having the conversation as if they were their mother, the person who infiltrated their mind, right? So whenever he's responding, they're responding back to him in their mind as if they were the person who has done all of this mind manipulation to them, right? The difference in the situation comes if you have both parents standing there in front of the child and the full conversation is had. You want to know why? Because the mother would not be able to lie, because the man would be standing right there contradicting all of the things or all the lies that have been told and expressing his part of the story.
You mean like when women lie and say your daddy bought that or we bought that, but they really bought it? You mean those kind of lies too? Y'all cannot with these blanketed statements. You know what's a lie? That foundation color. Let's go.
You knew the truth that you would not love them anymore.
And I said this before and I have to say it again. A lot of times, if children got to hear their conversation from their dad without the mother's influence, a lot of those same children would grow up and would have horrible ideas and relationships with their mothers because they would say, how dare you infiltrate my mind because you couldn't get what you wanted out of that man when that man was actually my father. It's a terrible thing. And that's why him saying the three of us needing to sit down, I 100% understand why he's saying that, and I agree with him.
Oh,
You 100% understand because you were there, weren't you, Muffin?
I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down?
You gonna have the white man paperwork like I got the white man paperwork, Muffin? We just showed the white man paperwork. Which paperwork you gonna show, Umar? You gonna show the white man's paperwork like this? You gonna show that one? The docket details? You gonna show the white man's paper? I hope so. I hope you show the white man's paperwork. Child.
Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit?
And like, here's the thing. You think that you haven't had... Rest assured, we'll get the rest of the paperwork for you guys tomorrow because this is not a game. Oh, this is not a game. Honey, this is not a game.
Down. Child support started. You wasn't even out your mama yet.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
And can I say this? The fact that he has lied to the black community for so many years, what the hell makes one think that he's not going to lie to a baby mama? If you can lie to the black community after the black community so graciously gave you hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably millions at this point, right? You will lie to any damn body. But let us continue.
His name's not on the birth certificate. And prior to her even giving birth to the child, she already actively had Dr. Umar on child support.
I've never been in a child support situation. But when did they start giving orders of child support before the children were born? So you get pregnant. Now they're starting to talk about this stuff now since this abortion topic, right? But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You get pregnant and he's paying child support while you're pregnant before the baby is born.
Again, let's go back to the comment he made, because it sounds like because of the fact that he did not want to actively marry her immediately so she could have locked him down, she used her vindictive nature and said, okay, fine.
You know what? That's a good question, Bayou Bruja. Did he say I've been paying it before you were born? Let me rewind it a little bit. Child.
When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down? Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit down? Child support started. You wasn't even out your mama yet.
Listen to this. Listen to this. His name's not on the birth certificate. And prior to her even giving birth to the child, she already actively had Dr. Umar on child support.
She just said prior to giving birth, he was actively on child support.
again, let's go back to the comment he made, because it sounds like because of the fact that he did not want to actively marry her immediately, so she could have locked him down, she used her vindictive nature and said, okay.
Muffin, didn't he lock her down for at least 9 months? And that's a vindictive nature to want to actually be with the man that you're having a child with. That's vindictive.
Okay, fine. I'm going to get you where it hurts. I'm going to hit you in your pockets. Oh, you don't want to slow build with me? Oh, we don't want to get to know each other? No, I don't want to get to know you. I just want to marry you, and that's it. No, I don't want to get to know you. I just want to marry you, and that's it. Oh, you don't want to do that? All right, cool. Boom. Child support.
And she took me.
Yeah. What else? You're supposed to, like, if you're not going to be married, you have to establish child support, don't you? Y'all, this is so weird.
The child support. Deadbeat who? Deadbeat who? Child custody file this thick. What are we talking about? Where is Mama Smurf? Where is Mama Smurf? Can we please have a sit down? Calling me now.
So he said child custody paperwork. So that makes it also seem like that woman fought him maybe for full custody, did not want the child. I'm not sure. I'm just alleging. I'm guessing at this point that maybe she didn't even want him to have weekends, this, that. Like, she wanted no visitation. She wanted 100% this my baby. Which, that's fine, right? Women who decide that they are, I'm just gonna put it out there. Women who decide that they want to take matters into their own hands because they did not get what they wanted, and they are, they have the full custody, no visitation, daddy not around, daddy don't come around, he just paid the child support, all he is a check. You do not then get to turn around and create a deadbeat dad conversation. I'm sorry, you don't do that. You know who can do stuff like that? The
people that got the paperwork. The people that are the actual daughters who were victims to this. That's who can do that. The courts can do it.
Who are cohesive in co-parenting, the people who are not infiltrating the minds of their children, the people who are not spewing lies, disrespect, or any kind of situation between the co-parenting and then the man is not involved. That's a different conversation. That's different. But you see, when y'all baby mamas are bitter, vindictive, nasty, revengeful, you don't get to call nobody deadbeat daddy, because most of the time it's because of you.
Calling me names?
It's because of the daughter. It's her fault that her dad's a deadbeat dad. Did I hear that correctly?
Using profanity? Really? Because you want to build your career. Okay. Build your career.
Which is very silly. Because how are you trying to sink the ship in which we know who you are from? Like, that is foolish. That's very foolish.
Princess, I want you to be happy. I want you to do what you must do, but you're not going to lie on me. I can't believe all you YouTubians and nobody asked this child, where is your mother? Can we hear from your mother? Where is the mother? Nobody's asking for the mama. Y'all just so anxious to see me belittled. Y'all just so interested in seeing me disgraced.
I do think that there are some people who do want to see Dr. Umar belittled, of course, and they do want to see him disgraced, of course. I am going to say that. But I also think that
he's disgraced himself, genius. I just want my money back.
This is just the narrative that people are used to believing. right? It's very hard. It's like more difficult to prove a deadbeat mom story. It has to be the extreme instead of a deadbeat dad narrative. Like when a deadbeat dad narrative is painted out there, and especially when the child is speaking, people are always like, oh my gosh, it must be true. People are very ever rarely going to think of the mother's part to play in the situation, because a lot of them are in the same situation, and that would mean that their mother is a bad person too. I'm just keeping it real. So it's harder for a lot of these people to see that women can be wrong, because that opens up wounds for them, even with their own mother.
Nobody even said, where's the mama? Can we talk to your mama? Can we talk to your mama?
Her mom's not the absent parent withholding siblings.
Nobody's asking for the mama. Where is the mama? What is your mama's Instagram? We want to ask her some questions. Where's your mama's face? Where is the mother? And none of y'all asking no questions.
Lord have mercy.
This is how you know that this is not about the truth. Where the mama at? She know the story. Mama know.
You see that look he have on his face with mama know the story? This man is saying, all right, now don't play this game on me, because when I flip out all this paperwork and I show you what I know, you gonna wish you never approached me like this on social media, because your little feelings gonna be hurt about, and you gonna view your mom differently.
Mama knows. But I'm going to give y'all a few questions to ask. If his number hasn't changed in 20 years, why haven't you called for an in-person conversation? You wait until now. Why is that? Why did you wait until now? I want you to get off of social media for a minute. Stop looking ridiculous. Get off social media for a minute, baby Smurf. Stop looking ridiculous. And I want you to get Mama Smurf. And on Thursday, 1 week from today, I'm calling you out, you and Mama Smurf. I want a respectable private FDMG tour and luncheon. Baby Smurf, Mama Smurf, and Big Papa. Wilmington, Delaware. Let's put it into this right now. Let's see who really telling the lies around here. Oh, yes.
Here's the thing, right? You see a lot of men can't take the stress. Okay? They cannot. They can't take the stress, the fight to get the child in the same room with the parent, because she's going to overtalk. She's going to disrespect. She's going to deflect from the situation. So a lot of men have a hard time having these conversations with their children to let them know what the actual truth is. Do you know how many women end up growing up and then saying, oh my gosh, I believed this stuff for so many years. I literally have a TikTok video that I just saw the other day. I'm going to try to find it and insert it so you guys can see.
It was a very sudden realization for me. I did reach out to my dad. We spoke. In my case, it has been reconnection. I never want to lose this relationship again. I will do anything to keep this relationship.
But a lot of these women grow up and then they have a different change of heart against their mother, because it's like, I can't believe that I was led to believe this whole story that you told me based off of your emotions and your feelings. And when I sat down with this man, not only is he cool, not only do I see that I have a great relationship with this man now, but I'm reminiscing on all the things I missed.
Well, it's easier when you don't have to change people's diapers, Muffin.
Out on for no reason. It's a terrible thing. I love the fact that he's, letting it be known to the public. All right, since you brought it public, all right, publicly, I have a meeting set up for the three of us. So when we have that meeting publicly, we're going to put an end to it. I can't wait. His daughter has been on social media every single day, going live from every platform she can.
You wanted to have a relationship with your sister. You wanted Dr. Umar to admit that he was your father. Both happened. And now you still on Instagram crashing out against your family. So what you going to say after this? You said that this is my dad, and then you blasted him in the world. What are your questions going to be? Like, think about it. You've been talking about this man recklessly for 2 days, and now you saying he's the deadbeat. You said he's the deadbeat, and that you have been trying to go. It's Dr.
You want to shut the up when I'm talking? Are you cool?
So I'm sure we're going to get an update. And when we do, we're going to have the conversation right here. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.
Guys, yeah. Thank you, Riva, because I would have if look, no one could have prepared me for what I just witnessed from you. So I'm look, thank you. So they're definitely in her comment section. I'm tired, y'all. I feel like my allergies is about to start acting up, so I'm gonna have to get off of here. I'm gonna call y'all back tomorrow. Um, I don't know how she made that all that shit up, but if you go in her comment section, most of the people aren't agreeing with her and are telling her that she got it wrong. I don't. She. It's like she literally made up a scenario to do content on it. I don't understand. I really don't understand. I just don't get it at all. But anyway, thank you guys for coming through. This was exhausting and wow, I've been live for 2.5 hours. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments section. I'll just say this. It's dangerous to have people out here like that with that mindset that lack compassion. That's just really weird. So, yeah. I'll see you guys next time.